Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing this full coverage foundation routine for you. So this is an in-depth foundation routine going from primer all the way to highlighter. So all the steps that you need to create a flawless base. So this is my current full coverage foundation routine. This is what I do when I'm going out, or I need my makeup to stay in place, or I would just want that kind of beautiful, glamorous look to my skin. So if you want to see how I got this makeup look, then please keep on watching. So as you can see, I've already done my eyes and I've already done my brows. I wanted this look to be all about the base, so I thought I'd get those out of the way so we can concentrate on the skin. So first things first, the most important thing for a long-wearing, long-lasting foundation is to make sure your skin's prepped. So make sure it's nice and well hydrated. If you're oily, use like a light oil-free moisturizer. If you're more dry, use a little bit more of a richer moisturizer, just to make sure that the skin is beautiful and hydrated. The last thing we want is it drying out. And then we want to prime the skin. So I'm going to use my two current favourite primers. So I'm going to use the Lauder Mercier Hydrating Primer all over, and then I'm going to use the Benefit Porefessional Pore Minimiser through the centre of the face, just to help sort out that texture. Okay, now on to foundation. So my favourite full coverage foundation routine is Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover mixed with Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So Double Wear Maximum Cover is a full coverage foundation. Believe me, it will cover everything. You need the tiniest amount, like half a pea goes the full face. Like, it's such a long coverage, high coverage, long wearing foundation. It's really good for staying in place. As you know, anything double wear from Estee Lauder is renowned for how long it stays in place. So definitely a great one if you want your makeup to last all day. Now the reason I add the Armani Luminous Silk in there is just to make it a little bit softer. So rather than it being like a full mask, this just helps to make it a little bit more of a thinner formula. You still get the amazing coverage, but it makes it a little bit lighter and also makes it a little bit more luminous. So I do a half-half combination, usually about that much maximum cover. So just like, yeah, like I said, like half a pea, and then about the same of the Luminous Silk. Okay, so once we've got that all on, the next step is concealer. So first I like to apply the concealer to the eye area, apply it to the face, and then blend it all in at the same time. So first I like to use my Armani Master Corrector in number 2. You've probably seen in my other videos I use this most of the time. And what this helps to do is it helps to lift that dark right from the inner corner of the eye. I am quite liney under my eye area. So I find this method, it means I don't have to apply a full coverage under eye concealer. I can use something a bit lighter and still get a good coverage. And then on top of that, I'm going to apply my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the colour Light Pale. I just like to, a couple of clicks to get the product up to the surface, and then just dot that around. So I don't take the actual product right up into my lash line. When I blend it, the excess blends up the way. Again, the less the better, lines, blah, blah, blah. So I just take that around in a U shape, so right from the inner corner down and then back up. Same on the other side. So this concealer, the reason I like it is it just does a really good job. I guess for me, it doesn't crease, it doesn't dry, it doesn't make my under eyes look old or heavy or anything. So it's definitely my favourite under eye concealer at the moment. And then to conceal the rest of the face, I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in the shade number 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this to the high points of the face. So because we're highlighting a little bit under the eye area and kind of taking out the darkness, to balance the face, we want to highlight any high points in the face. So what that's going to do is it's going to make the face look three-dimensional. Foundation, especially a heavy foundation like this, makes everything look flat and it makes you have no kind of colour or shape to the face. So these next steps just help to kind of bring the shape and the colour back into the skin, but in more of a flawless way. I'm going to apply it directly to the high points of the face. Also, I'm going to apply it to any kind of shadows, so any deep areas that I want brought forward. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work that all in with the damp UV blender. So just tapping them in until they're blended. So as you can see, that's just made those centre parts of the face just a little bit brighter. Now the reason I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer is I got it in a gift with purchase, and I remember I used to use it a long time ago. I used to work for Estee Lauder about 8 years ago, and I used to use this for blemishes. I loved it, and then I kind of forgot all about it. And then I got it in the gift with purchase a week ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that in place of my NARS Creamy Concealer and see if it does a good job. And it actually did an incredible job of not getting oily and kind of really staying in place. The NARS Creamy Concealers I love, but by the end of the day, especially if it's been a long day, that's where I oil. That's where it starts to melt and I start to get shiny. Whereas with this, it didn't happen. So I was very impressed with that. Alright, so now that we've got all those creams on the skin, we want to set them all. So setting your foundation and your concealer is the key to longevity. That's what's going to keep everything in place. So first things first, we want to set the under eye, because that is the area for me that creases the most quickly. I'm going to set that with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So what I do is I just tap some of the powder into the lid, and using that same beauty blender and using the tip, I'm just going to put a little bit onto the beauty blender, and then I'm going to tap that all the way under the under eye. So I'm not baking, I'm not going to leave it on there to kind of really dry. I'm actually working it into the foundation and the concealer to set it. Now I'm going to use that same method to set the other concealed areas. Now to set the rest of the face, I'm going to use my MAC Mineralise Skin Finish in medium, and I'm going to apply that with my Zoeva 131 Luxe Definer brush. So now we want to create some depth to the skin. Now we have highlighted slightly through the middle, so now we want to darken the outer edges of the face. So to do that, I'm going to use my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm going to apply that with my Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish brush. So I'm just going to apply this to the outer perimeter of the face. So I like to take it along the top of the forehead. So what you want to do is anywhere that catches the sun, I suppose. So top of the forehead, down the sides of the temple is where you want to kind of apply for a bronzy finish. So I like to take it top of the eyebrows, down into the hairline. And I'm also going to take it down the nose. So I like to take it just down the sides of the nose. So as well as giving it a bronzy finish to the skin, it's also going to contour slightly and make my nose a little bit sharper. I don't mind my nose, I have no real purpose to contour it, so I just more do this to create definition. Okay, next placement is under the cheekbone. So this is going to create a little bit of depth in the skin. So I'm just going to work that in under the cheekbone. So to find the cheekbone, you kind of want to have a little feel of the skin. Feel where your actual bone is, and then feel just underneath that there's a hollow. That's where you want to apply your bronzer. And then the last place is down the back of the jaw and under the jawbone. So you want to take it just under the jawbone to create some sharpness to the jaw. So watch it doesn't kind of come up onto the actual jawline because it can create a beard. No one wants a beard. So the next step is just to add a little bit of colour to the skin, so with a blush. So today I'm going to use my Milani Baked Blush in the colour Luminoso, and I'm going to apply that to the cheekbones using the 105 Luxe Highlighter brush. Now with blush, depending on where you apply it, it creates a kind of different look. So if you apply it to the back of the cheeks, so kind of to the top of the contour, so this kind of area here, this will give you more of a sharp contoured appearance. If you apply it more to the apples of the cheeks, so just kind of this area here, this will give you more of a youthful, kind of young, girly, girl next door kind of appearance. So I am the kind of person that likes to take it up the back of the cheekbones. I like that more kind of structured look rather than that kind of young girly look. So that's where I'm going to apply mine. Alright, and the last step, and this is again an optional step, but it's something I do every day because, you know, a girl's got a glow, is highlight. So I'm going to use my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the colour Champagne Pop, and I'm going to apply that to the high points of the face. So I'm going to use two brushes to do that. I'm going to use my Zoeva 237 Detailed Shader Brush and my Napoleon Perdis 16B Contour Brush. So first we're going to go in with a smaller brush, and we're going to apply this right on the kind of very high points of the face. So we're going to apply it to the Cupid's bow first of all, and what that's going to do is it's going to make the top lip look a little bit bigger and a little bit more pouty. And then we're going to take it on the tip of the nose. So the next place I'm going to apply it is to the tear duct, so right on the inner corner of the eye. So I like to apply it all the way around the tear duct. Again, it's personal about how much you put on and how big an area you put it. I like to put it in quite a big area actually. I'm a bit of like a woo, shove it on kind of girl. So I like to take it kind of on the inner corner of the eye and kind of a little bit down on the outer corner. And see how that instantly just kind of brightens and opens up that eye area. Next step is under the eyebrows. So this is just where the brow arches. So you just want to tap it right under the brow hair. Just right under that arch, and that's going to give those brows a lift. Now for the larger areas, so we're going to take that 16B brush and we're going to apply it to the top of the cheekbones. So right along here where your face would naturally catch the light. So I'm just applying it to the tip of the brush and I'm just going to pat it into that area. And then the last place is, I like to just put a little bit just above the brow, just here. And again, that'll help to kind of lift the brow and give a glow to the skin. We're all about creating glow. We're all about creating life and glow and luminosity and youthfulness and beautifulness. And last step, and this has to be one of the most important steps to finish your makeup look, setting sprays. Setting sprays are so important. One, to make the makeup look more kind of flawless, and two, to make sure that everything stays in place. So I have two, depending on what I'm doing, how my skin's feeling, and the type of makeup I'm using. So the first one I'm going to show you is my MAC Fix Plus. So I like to use this when I want a more dewy, hydrated makeup look. So one of the top ingredients in it is glycerin. So like I said with the primers, are really good for making everything stay in place. It's also super hydrating, so it'll make the skin stay nice and hydrated, and it'll give a more of a kind of luminous glow to the skin. Now the other one that I have is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I like to use this if I want to make sure that my makeup is going to stay on all night. So this is kind of like my daytime setting spray. This is my nighttime setting spray. So this one, it doesn't give you the same dewy kind of luminous as the MAC Fix Plus. It gives you more of kind of a satiny matte finish, but it definitely makes sure that everything stays in place. So I'm going to use the MAC Fix Plus today. So all you want to do is just want to give yourself a spray. So I do about 4 sprays. So down the side, 2 for the middle, and then down the other side. And that's pretty much enough. Okay, we're done. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment boxes below. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I really hope I see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.